From an economic point of view, how long do you think the inflation, I guess, will continue to affect job seeker decisions?
Yeah, I think the short answer is probably for a prolonged period of time. Remember that inflation was about a little over 10% last year. So obviously this is an average inflation rate. Everybody in the economy has a slightly different consumption basket. Homeowners have a different consumption basket than renters. I have a different consumption basket than you or my wife. So my personal inflation rate is slightly different than somebody else's. But on average, inflation was about 10% last year, whereas nominal wage growth was about maybe 7 to 8% in the private sector and a couple of percentage points lower in the public sector. And that means that a lot of people last year, due to the cost of living crisis, high energy prices, high food prices, they saw their inflation adjusted salary go down slightly. And what does that mean for this year and next year? Even as the inflation rate will come down right now, I think people in the labor market would like to get like some of their inflation adjusted wage back, right? So I think salary demands will continue to remain elevated. And the Bank of England recently talked about that as well. And I actually wrote about that. So amongst like large advanced economies, the UK economy is one of the few where kind of like fears of this wage price spiral are to some extent warranted, because inflation will remain a little bit stickier than in other economies. And wage growth has been relatively high, and I expect that it will, at least wage demands will continue to be high, because workers just want to make up for the real wage losses they had to take. What we know from the US is that also if you are a job switcher, so then actually you most likely are seeing higher wage growth, right? So I think a lot of people who are also might kind of like passively look around for other opportunities and see whether they can get higher wage growth that way.